up, you guys? Welcome to today's video. If you guys are new here, my name is Alexis and I film all types of videos, whether it is like Amazon hauls over health and fitness, my eczema because I suffer with eczema. I've talked about nursing stuff and topics about nursing. I have talked about just pretty much like everything here on my channel. It's just like a little mixture of a little bit of everything. So if you guys like these type of videos, then make sure to give this a big thumbs up so I know that you guys like these type of topics. Today I'm going to be sharing with you that I actually got accepted into the nursing program. Just a little bit of background for you guys. I actually already finished my nursing prerequisites. It took me about 2 years because I had to get all my stuff out of the way. So technically my nursing program or nursing stuff like all together is like a 4-year thing because I had to do my prerequisites, which took 2 years, and then the actual program is 2 years. So I decided to go with a RN, so a registered nurse, and that is about a 2-year program. So if I wanted to get my BSN, I would have to go back for another 2 years, so technically that would have been 6 years total. So I just decided to go with my RN, just, you know, start with that, and if I want to eventually get my BSN, I could probably do like online classes or do something like that. So I actually am gonna be a nursing student. Like, it's just crazy to think about. So I had applied to Scott Community College because I did a lot of weighing between pros and cons. I learned a lot about universities versus community colleges and how they're pretty much the same thing. Like, if you're going to a like really fancy, you know, like 4-year college, that you're basically just paying a price tag for like that name brand, basically just saying like you went to that university. I heard that community colleges very well teach like the same way. You're still going to be a nurse, you're still going to learn the same aspects as somebody else as who went to a university versus someone who went to a community college, and that's just my opinion. If you guys have other opinions, then that's your opinion. But I stuck with community college. I just feel like for the price tag, I feel like I'm still gonna get the same bang for my buck, and if anything, it's just gonna be cheaper. And I'm still gonna be a nurse, I'm still gonna do as well as I can, and things are just going to work out just as fine whether if I went to a community college or not. But I'm really excited. I actually was laying in bed at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was just scrolling through my phone because I like could not sleep, and I was like, you know what, I should check my email on my school's website, and I just don't know why, but I was like, I just should just check it. I haven't checked it in a while, and maybe they're keeping us updated on all this COVID stuff. Maybe our letters are just being delayed and stuff like that. So I was like, maybe I should log in and see if they sent me anything. And sure enough, I opened up the email and it was just talking about our acceptance and how like when school starts and what we need to do if we accept their offer. And I was just like bawling. I was just like, what? I was like, am I reading this right? I like rub my eyes and I'm like, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. Am I just tired, or is that what it says, you know? So that was really exciting. I hate that I found out that way, but it's okay. I just had really bad anxiety because of how long it was taking, because I probably would have found out by now. I applied back in January and today is April 19th, so it's like definitely a couple months later, and I was getting really worried, and I just didn't know between all this virus stuff if they were going to send it through the mail or if they were going to send us email or what was going to go on or when we were going to find out. So definitely the long wait gave me a little bit of anxiety, and I was slightly freaking out, but it's okay. So I did not get a letter in the mail. They just sent out our acceptance letters through email, which is fine. And if you guys see me looking down, I'm just looking at my list here of what I wanted to talk to you guys about. So yeah, I found out through an email online. One thing I wanted to share with you guys was my grades. If you guys had any, you know, questions, like what my stats were pretty much when I applied for the program. And I wanted just to share how my GPA, I think it was like 3 point something. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I know for the TEAS test, it's required before you can even get into the program. In the TEAS test, they require, I believe a 70 is passing, but a 60 is still passing as well, if that makes any sense. So if you get a below a 70, you don't have to retake the test. They just do what's called remediation. So I actually scored a 62% on my TEAS test, So I didn't have to retake it, but they just wanted me to go over the topics that I pretty much didn't do so hot on. But if you were to get under a 60%, then you'd have to retake it. So I barely passed my TEAS test, but I just did my remediation and I was fine, but I was really worried that they weren't going to accept me because of my TEAS score, but I guess that was really fine because I guess people who have a higher TEAS test score, they are more likely to have priority in seating and getting picked first. So I was getting really worried on whether or not they're going to pick me, but it all worked out good and just worked out fine. So right now I'm just looking at some of the grades that I had found on the website. So I'm just looking at an unofficial transcript right now. So the classes that were mainly important were pretty much, you know, like your math classes and stuff like that, and your science classes. I got a lot of A's in school, but then I also, you know, got a couple C's and a couple B's here and there, but I still overall did really well in school. My goal was to be an honor student and get a 3.5 for my GPA, but that did not happen, but that's okay. I was really bummed about it because I missed it by not very much. I mean, my GPA was almost a 3.2. It was like 3.183, and I think that's because of the last class I took. If I would have gotten an A in the last class that I was taking, I would have gotten a 3.5, and I would have been able to be an honor student. So that was a really big bummer, but that's okay. So my total earned credits were 51. Total grade points 162.33, and my GPA was about a 3.1. So that was what my grades were about. Also took a CNA course, and it's that through my school at least it was required. So I took it during a summer class, and you know, you had to do your clinicals, so you had to, you know, wear your scrubs, you had to learn respiratory rate, you had to learn how to take blood pressure, you know, you wanted how to take care of your patients. So, you know, they're like bed baths and transferring and gait belts and all that fun stuff. So we learned lots of stuff through our CNA course, a lot of medical terminology and stuff like that. So that was something that was required by my school, so I would definitely look into it. If you guys are in your prerequisites and they haven't told you anything about it yet, you guys are definitely required to have your CNA. Even to apply for nursing school, they require your CNA to be active and you to be on the registry. So make sure you guys are doing that before you apply. Honestly, I'm like just so proud because I worked really hard in school. I worked full-time and I went to school full-time, and it was just a really big struggle, but I got through it and I still got fairly well, very good grades for what I would think. They only require like a 2.0 for your GPA at my school. So I pretty much got like a whole another point GPA than what they required. So my GPA was totally fine, and they didn't require it to be very high. So I did very well on my grades just because I wanted to. So you guys could easily get a lower GPA, but that doesn't always mean that they're going to accept you based off of that GPA. Someone who might have a higher one might get accepted versus you. So definitely just work as hard as you can and just do the best that you can is my tip. I would definitely say that I feel like I'm gonna have to get a new routine, because my previous routine for school, I felt like it was working, but like I was struggling. I felt like so much information was being thrown at me, and I was just trying to like read everything word for word and read unnecessary things that I didn't need, and then I was just like overstudying, and stuff was on the exam that I didn't even like study for and stuff like that. So my goal is to just to really just take the basics of the information that I'm learning and kind of like pull everything together into like a small study guide to study from, instead of trying to overstudy or overthink everything. Alright guys, so that was pretty much it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and there's definitely going to be more videos to come, especially over my nursing, since I'm going to be going into school. I'll be talking about like my first nursing semester and stuff like that. So if you guys are excited to see those type of topics and type of videos, then go ahead and make sure you guys are subscribed, hit that like button, and I will see you guys in my future videos. Bye!